absolutely. Let's quickly fly through this because they are floating those skis. So the start list for the under-19 female ski relay finalists, they get them in position there now, trying to line up that line nice and evenly. It's Burleigh Heads A, Newport A, North Bondi A, Manly A, Northcliffe A, so a lot of power at the top of the line. Burleigh Heads B, Cooks Hill A, Met Caloundra A, Avoca A, Dickey Beach, Trig Island, Northcliffe B, Maroochydore, Southport, Alexandra Headland, and Terrigal. So you can see the challenge being faced by the starters at the moment because this beach is a little bit uneven on the edge there. It's hard to get that line nice and straight, Brooke.
Yeah, it is. But some top ski paddlers out there today in these ski relay teams. So it's going to be a really great race. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's right. And I think there is a misconception as well that the gun is up now. And they are away in the under-19 female ski relay final of Australia. Those teams on the southern end of the line, rather, getting away nice and strongly, but in the middle of the field, that is an explosive start right out the middle. I believe that could be Avoca Beach getting away strongly. Nat Drobot, who has been so dominant through these junior ages. Wow, look at that. That is already a boat-length lead at the start.
Yeah, she's really motoring ahead. Really, she's just taken off. Look at that. Look at the gap she's got back to the rest of the field there. Setting off for a great start for this ski relay. Yeah,
that's right. Now, just before the start of the race, I was going to mention the fact that we are seeing a number of ski paddlers who have experience in flat water kayaking stepping up here today, but it's not as easy as that, being fit and strong enough in the flat to get a good result. It's all about getting those little skills right, and we saw that at the start of the ski relay just then. You have to get that jump nice and clean, and this is the result at the moment. Two teams are chasing there in second and third. That's Burleigh Heads turning in second, Northcliffe in third along the outside, Southport not far behind. But at this stage, it's all Avoca as we see a few little collisions around that turning can now.
Yeah, it's getting tight there around those cans. They'll be looking to try and get their own space so they don't get, put off their line and off their race, but around they go.
So important to try and keep the boat moving because this is what is happening out in front at the moment. Clear water for our leaders, Avoca, and they are making it count, still with a ski-length lead over second. And now comes the tough part, trying to do it on the way home into that slight offshore wind.
Yeah, for the last few days, we've seen some of the swell coming through in the afternoon and that shore really perk up. So these girls will really want to be watching that down in the pink and the green and gold arena down there because they'll be looking to work every bit of run that they can. And Avoca A, they took out the New South Wales state title, so they'll be looking for the gold here as well today.
Really nice, strong paddling out in front from Avoca. You can see the rotation of the shoulder, trying to use those big muscles as much as possible rather than just pulling the water with the arms, and it is paying off. In saying that though, Burleigh Heads making a really good go of it in second place, holding that lead that was established on the way out. So we're coming into the final 100 metres now before they get off their skis and run. This is the opportunity to start to pick up a little bit of assistance on the ocean and try and just milk everything you can out of what there is on offer.
Yeah, absolutely. She's about to dismount and head up the beach, make those tags.
So it's Avoca in one. Harold Marshall is down on the beach with us now.
Mate, this is tough. I'm a commentator and dad at the moment. My daughter Devara's in next for Avoca. This is killing me, but I tell you what, bit of a change up there for Burleigh Heads Murray Bay Park. They've sent out Jasmine Raywood, who's had an unbelievable season on all craft, and like we spoke at nauseam before, there's no reason why she can't win every single event here coming through. But Avoca out in one, Burleigh Heads in two, Northcliffe in three. Gee, I tell you what, not many gold medals left. It's two more today in the water, and Avoca out to a big lead at the moment, but we still got the best in the business coming through from Northcliffe and Burleigh Heads Murray Bay Park.
Well, a proud dad moment for Harold there because Devara did get in that ski cleanly. That was a great start from Avoca, and you can see her on screen there now raiding up and just doing everything she can to hold that gap at the moment. There was clean tags from our teams in second and third, Burleigh Heads tagging second. Harold mentioned Jazz Raywood there, an incredible talent. She's represented Australia in flat water kayaking, open water swimming, ocean ski paddling, and she's always at the front of these surf lifesaving races. So Avoca has stretched that lead out ever so slightly even more. with Northcliffe and Burleigh Heads chasing well. I say ever so more, but that is a sizable gap now for Avoca.
Yeah, it is quite a lead. I mean, you yourself, Sam, you know, you've just been out there, these conditions, trying to peg back a gap like that, pretty difficult to do, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the one thing that those chasing teams have on their side is that they have paddlers around them to be able to work with and also get a gauge out of. A great shot of the drone there at the moment as Zavara going around that first turning can. It is lonely out in front with a lead like that. You don't have to worry so much about who's coming up on your inside or outside and how you're going in terms of speed compared to them. But that's when you start to get those thoughts in your head of, am I rating high enough? Am I pulling enough water? It's just so important to stay as calm as possible as we see a little bit more carnage around those turning cans. Just trying to make that boat move as much as possible.
Yeah, that's Matt Caloundra just going around there. And you're right, it is a bit lonely out the front there, really trying to make sure. And I think sometimes it might be easier to be the chase because you've got something to chase down. But in these flat water conditions, I still think it's pretty tough going to try and close that gap as they come around those cans.
Yeah, that's right. So we're currently seeing the back of the field coming around at the moment, but this is the front. Avoca out in front. It's still Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park in second. Northcliffe is in third. And that chase is on. We are starting to see perhaps that gap close just a little bit at the moment, Brooke.
Yeah, this Northcliffe paddler, she's really making up some ground here, coming up alongside Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park. And those girls really want to close this gap from Avoca here. And, you know, they want to go around into their third paddler really close.
Yeah, so you can see on screen now the gap has come back to one ski length. Northcliffe and Burleigh Heads able to work together. They've got a gauge of each other, but it's Avoca still out in front, keeping that rating going. And that is going to be Devara's goal. She comes into the beach. Is make sure she get off that ski first. A slight run now to stretch her back out. It's so important to try and keep the boat moving because it's all coming down to those athletes on the finish. There's some nervous times at the moment as they get ready to float their skis.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be making their way into the water and just getting themselves ready for their paddler to come around for the tag.
Oh, that's a run for Northcliffe, starting to move up on Avoca, but Avoca has responded well. So it will be Avoca in one, getting off the ski, Northcliffe in two, and Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park in three, but that has tightened up very, very closely. Harold, what are you seeing on the sand?
I'm seeing heavy legs is what I'm seeing at the moment. The girls are working really hard. So Northcliffe making their way back into first and second at the moment. Burleigh Heads in third. So, and the tough thing is all the girls that are going out now have already done three paddles already. This is number 4. So they're going to be burning. And Bronte Ayres, and it looks like Claudia Bailey there, 1 and 2. Burleigh Heads in 3.
Well, we have a drag race at the moment in the Under-19 Female Ski Relay Championship of Australia. It is Avoca ever so slightly out in front with Northcliffe in 2, Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park in 3. And they have come right back together now in this final leg. Northcliffe, that's Claudia Bailey pulling up on the wash of Bronte Ayres. These two will go stroke for stroke as they battle for the ultimate prize in Australian surf lifesaving.
Yeah, look at this. She's coming up right alongside her and really taking this lead here. She goes and heads on out.
It's a big moment in this race now. Northcliffe half a boat length in front. It could be more by the time we get to this first can because Claudia is putting the foot down. She knows how important it is to get to that ski in front with clean water, and Brooke, she looks to have done it.
Yeah, she does, definitely, and she's not stopping there either. Look at that rate. She's going. She's not leaving this to chance at all. And just taking this lead away from Avoca. She comes around that can. It's
an aggressive style of racing and it has paid off for Northcliffe. They are clear in first. Avoca is now on the tail in 2. Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park. We've just had a shot there in 3. And the second Burleigh team as well coming through in 4th. So we will have a race for that bronze medal. But at the moment, it is all about the gold. It's Northcliffe in first, Avoca in second. And we are about to see how much Claudia still has in the tank as she turns that final turning buoy because it is a long way back home with these conditions today.
Yeah, it is. They'll be looking to lift that rate and really just hold on as long as they can. But let's see what Avoca's got left in the can and can she peg a little bit back from Northcliffe here.
We're starting to see plenty of energy in that battle for 3rd and 4th as well. So a very high rating from our chasing teams. But at the moment, it is all Northcliffe. The challenge for Avoca is going to be pulling clear and getting over the top of that wash that's coming off the back of Northcliffe ski because in these conditions where there's not favourable wind, there isn't favourable swell, it is hard to do to try and paddle up and over that wash.
Yeah, there's no ways that are helping them out. That's for sure. Not like what we saw at some of the state championships. So right now it is Northcliffe leading the way. Avoca trying to stay in touch there. And then we've got Burleigh Heads, Mowbray Park. Their two teams hitting it out really for that third position on the podium.
So you can start to see now the pain on the face. Look at Claudia Bailey out in front. She's gritting her teeth. Bronte Ayres from Avoca is doing the same in second, but Claudia is digging deep. There's 100 metres to go now, and there's a little gap over the top of Avoca as well. So it is all Northcliffe as they approach the sand. One last roll of the dice from Avoca. Will there be some kind of lift to come? The gritting of the teeth of Claudia Bailey. She's going to stand up first, and we dare say that that will be enough for Northcliffe A to win the Under-19 Female Ski Relay Championship of Australia. Claudia Bailey, Emerson Hardy and Ruby Meehan, congratulations, because that was a gritty victory over Avoca in second. That is the team of Bronte Ayres, Devara Marshall and Nat Drobot. And we will have a race for third as well between the two Burleigh Heads Mowbray Park teams as to who will come across the line for that bronze medal. But what a commanding performance from Northcliffe A to do it the hard way and come from behind for victory.
Yeah, they did.
So hands on hips at the moment, the finish line there. We will have a chat with our winners in just a moment, but that is brutal racing. And some of the best racing that we have seen as well on offer in this sport. There is no luck. It's all done the hard way, Brooke. There is no assistance on offer today. So we will see a few replays now. Let's relive that action because that was an incredible race. Nat Drobot from Avoca flying off the start. She really took things out well, Brooke.
Yeah, she did. Look at her mount here, and off she goes, really digging that water and getting her moving.
It's all in those first 10 doubles as well. You can see there that she's got her body weight forward. She's leaning over the stroke. That's allowing her to put down that more power. And look at that acceleration as well. That is absolutely outstanding paddling, rotating her core, trying to use her legs and her shoulders and back as much as possible. And it opened up a really sizable lead as well. But interestingly, you can see in second and third, it was Burleigh Heads and Mowbray Park and Avoca doing what they could to try and hang in there, because that proved to be the difference. This is the last leg. That's Claudia Bailey from Northcliffe A. An incredible paddle to come past Avoca and then get out in front and clear, running all the way through to the line as well.
Yeah, sheer relief as she crosses that line after that paddle.
Absolutely, and a great paddle from Avoca in second as well. The New South Wales champions, as you did imagine, they gave a really great account of themselves in that race, and then it was the race between Burleigh Heads A and B for third and fourth. It looks as though that might have been the A team that got across the line there. So really tight racing. Another gold medal decided here at the Aussie Championships. Harold Marshall is down on the beach with our winners.
Yeah, we're down here with the girls. It's so dry at the moment. We had Ruby out there first. You knew that Nat was going to get away pretty quick. How important was it to not panic through that first leg?
Yeah, I knew I just had to try and set it up really well for the girls, and Nat has such a fast start. So I just tried to get on her wash and hang on, but yeah, the girls came through. So.
And Emmy, big week last week, getting back out there again today. Paddler number 2, peg back that little bit there, just enough to, I guess, for Claudia to set that up to come home with the gold.
Oh yeah, it's such a grind. I knew that if I could just sit on a bit of watch coming out, that I could pin it coming in and hopefully give Claudia just enough to get in front.
And we're talking about just enough. You got away pretty clean on that last count. Didn't know if you know, Avoca was just coming on that last little bit, and then the crowd went up, and then all of a sudden you could see you grit the teeth.
Yeah, definitely. Going into the last leg, I know I had it in me to have the speed to get there, and I was just trying to hold on from the last can in and just hope they didn't catch me.
So there we have it. The Northcliffe ladies victorious in the Under-19 ski relay. Anyone got to back up again?
No.
Ladies are fresh and they're done. They'll be celebrating.